So this is the April 24th, 2006 live Brap Encore. I don't know why I posted it out of order. I think it was in a... I lost a hard drive and I did data recovery, and the files were all coming up, but in just one massive file, not separate ones.
Oh, so we did a second pass Brap that night.
Yeah.
We did a first one and then came back to it later.
Yeah, people wanted more. What was wrong with them? Oh, okay. I remember recording this one.
I want to say that this is an all digital one.
Might be one where I have a digital thing being used as a noise gate to let a live signal through, but in a very strict mechanical pattern. I think this was purely just me trying to make you laugh.
Maybe. Oh, those synth sounds are making me think of something else that actually exists that somebody did professionally. It's like at the edge of my memory. I can't remember the musician or the song. It's like...
Crystal Castles?
No. It's it's an artist that I discovered at the same time that I discovered Gridlock. Chris something. Oh, it's been forever since I've
If I remember correctly, while I was doing this, the people watching were kind of laughing, so I just kept going more and more ridiculous just to try to like react to the audience and just keep them laughing harder and harder.
That sounds right.
I love how we're reviewing our own output, and both of us are just like on our phones, not even paying attention.
I'm trying to figure out the musician that I'm thinking of here. And I don't want to go out to the car to get my iPod to figure out the name of the musician.
I'm texting.
I know that I have a couple of those albums on my iPod.
I'm texting sappy romantic crap to my partner. I think this was me trying to take it back into a dirty industrial direction.
So keep recording so that you can hear that I'm actually going and doing this. I need to figure out what this is. It's going to drive me nuts.
I think what's happening is driving me nuts as is. this is awful. You know what's ridiculous, Brad?
What?
I just realized it was a year ago that I was uploading these. It's taken us this long to get together to watch these.
Some of those sounds made me think of a lot of the sounds that Chris Clark used in Turning Dragon.
Chris Clark, that's the one.
I don't know why I couldn't remember that.
That explains why I was thinking like
literally
CC.
one of my favorite electronic albums, but yeah, that's the sound.
Would you agree with that assessment of the last one? I'm going to comment on my own video. I think this may be one of the worst ones we did.
The one that we were just listening to?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Posted. That was not enjoyable.
But that's okay. It made me think of Chris Clark, so it can't all be bad.
Yep. Oh, so here's the next one. We've got the May 5th Brap. We've got Movement 1, Movement 2, Movement 3, Embarrassing Banter, and Movement 4.
Amazing. So definitely a microphone there.
Yeah. May 5th, 2016. This is another live Brap in front of an audience. Movement 1. How did we start a show back then? Oh, that's a good way to start it.
Okay, so I'm definitely sitting at the computer here. I'm not using a live instrument.
The graphics have changed. What I did was like each part of a movement would be the next cycle. This is when I figured out the visual skew for these videos. Again, no relation or importance to the actual sounds, but that was me, I think.
Yeah, as per usual, I've decided to start with strings.
Yep. I think that's me plucking away on a keyboard. In fact, that's the VST I programmed myself in, not Pure Data, what was that program I used? Synthetic. Mouse cursor! That pattern is actually kind of neat on this one.
Yeah, good color range.
My old camera, because it did the line skipping rather than interpolation, was a lot better for creating harsh moire patterns. This new camera is too good, they don't turn out as abrasive.
So the camera's making you change your aesthetic.
Yes. Was that neon guitar? Because that sounds more like the way I play than the way you play.
It may be. I'm definitely playing strings right now.
Yeah, that's you for sure.
There's no way I'm playing the guitar too.
Yeah. I think I had a keyboard in one hand, and I was probably just like hammering on the frets, not actually strumming. And then I might have had a noise gate just to control how long the hum lasted. It's weird because we're not audio people, but I seem to remember a lot more about audio than I remembered that I remembered. I like how I post this like a full year before I have you check it out and say, hey, are you okay with the world having access to this?
Don't care. Something we did with the intention of putting out there somewhere, somehow.
Yeah. I still remember like drawing this pixel by pixel in Paintbrush. This actually does sound better than the last one, I think, to me.
Well, there's definitely more time in between them.
Yeah. A month.
One would think that at that point we would have listened to the first one, the raw recording, and gone, ooh, you have to cover that up with noise. Yep, there's the microphone.
Yep. Oh, I should add, there were a few points where you say stuff that's actually clearly understandable. It's not necessarily anything offensive, but it was still your voice, so I carefully like edited around it so you didn't...
Yeah, whatever.
Except for the embarrassing banter. That was me. May 5th, Live Brap Movement 2. I like how computers actually work better on a phone than on a computer now.
Mm-hmm. I think Chrome must have been designed with this in mind, not the computer.
Ooh, I remember when I was editing this, I think this was one of the ones I liked more. That's the sound of my laptop not able to keep up with how much effects processing I have it doing. There were also a few elements in this one where the digital noises were too aggravating, so I just kind of edited those parts out, but I left some of it in.
So the microphone must have been beside me at the computer.
Yeah.
Because again, the clearest memory I have of using the microphone was in the middle of the room, not behind the rig.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just remembering that first time and not the second time.
Yeah, it would usually be kind of in the middle, so if I turned around and said something, it would get picked up by it as well.
No, I mean like in the middle of the room by that pull-out couch that we had down there. There was one session that was live where the microphone was right there in the middle of the room.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, there's me. There's my voice. Speaking incomprehensibly.
That was all hail cheesy MIDI.
Clearly you've been listening to this more.
That was one I did listen to. This session I did. But some of them, like the earlier noisy ones where it was just the same stuff going on forever.
Ooh. I remember that one.
Yep.
God, I can't remember the name of that strings pad, but it was another favorite of mine.
Yep. I like this one.
Yeah, this is where you went, nope! and took the sound that it was and brought it way down and bent it out of shape.
Yep. That's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I wreck your shit.
It still sounds cool.
I'm running out of cheesy industrial material. My monotone voice and things that I express.
Oh man, yeah, that was definitely near the end of the night.
I've gotten past and into the I feel arty and stuff.
I feel arty and stuff. That should be the album title.
Headless Studio Braps, I feel arty and stuff. Or all hail the cheesy MIDI.
Yes.
Although truthfully, you can't really hear the MIDI. Yeah, I don't care. If whoever is calling me has something important to say, then they'll leave a message.
It's like my phone has over 10 different ways of contacting me, none of which involve speaking to you. Use one of them.
Oh, my guess.
More.
More error noises?
Yeah. This was a pre-recorded loop that I had done.
That you had inserted in.
Like the buzzy droney thing was me live, but the pattern that's cycling.
I mean, that makes sense because it sounds cleaner.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's some thought put into it.
Yeah. And I remember like actually spending a good chunk of that day learning how to play it on the keyboard to have that note playing live, playing the same melody as the guitar.
What for the AGM was 11 hours ago.
I didn't catch that. Something hours ago.
Was it
Well, sweet.
4:38 a.m. was 11 hours ago. That was, I think, the time we decided to... Was that the night we had the Awake-a-thon?
I don't know, maybe.
Oh, man.
There were too many nights where taking Sonic Arts meant staying up for more than 24 hours to finish a project.
Yes, it did. All right. The next one is...
No, you skipped... There's a movement
No,
for...
I know. No, I know. There's just... Okay, the next one has 10 movements.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to have to start another... May 5th, live Brap, movement 4. Citrus, Brad. It's pronounced citrus.
It is pronounced citrus unless you bend it out of shape.
Which we did to everything we touched. Did I ever use my theremin for any of these? I don't think I did.
I don't think so, no. That sounded vaguely like, you know what? If you're going to do this to me, then I'm going to do this right back. And I picked a cheesy synth.
Yep. And then I think I had queued this one up because I'm like, no, we're going to go somewhere. Yeah. Somewhere else. That's actually kind of a neat synth line.
That sounds an awful lot like one where we would have struck upon it, would have decided that, whoa, that's cool, we need to remember how to do that, and then probably forgot.
Right there, we forgot.
Yeah, I've come back in again.
Yeah. This is actually quite pretty sounding. Oh, there I am to ruin it.
No, I don't think so.
No, the static fading in.
No, I like the static in that.
Mouse cursor again.
Wow, that mouse cursor was messed up.
Well, remember, because it's each one is the same thing, so it's going to be in all of them. This reminds me of one of the Ogre albums. The second one.
This is probably around the first time that I heard Water.
Great track. Well, it's still one of my favorite albums.
And this is one of the few times where me playing strings turned out in a way that was usable.
Yeah.
Where everything kind of blended together nicely.
Yeah. No awful notes that come out of nowhere.
I mean, I like dissonance, but there's a time and a place, I guess. And this one won't drag on as long. This is probably right around that time that I did that industrial symphony project for the Sonic Arts. Oof.
Yeah. It was so nice.
And that's about where I screwed it up.
And then how do we end it?
Oof.
No, you ended on a low note at least.
Yeah, it helped. Definitely coalesced and was good for a while.
Yeah. So okay, so this
That's
is
probably one of the more musical ones.